Hey Kavya, this is Papa here. I wish you a very happy birthday. I still can't believe that you've turned 16 years of age. The last time I wrote a long letter to you, I rued the passing of the first 7.5 years of your life, which went by like the blink of an eye. Now, as I say these words, another 8.5 years have passed, and the thought is bittersweet. As you move further away from my protective arms, I worry about how the world will change you. Over these past 16 years, you have gone from being my newborn princess, cradled in my arms, to my little princess, experiencing the joy and independence that life can bring. You are smart, strong-headed, bold and confident, and I can already visualize the wonderful woman you will be one day. And like I wrote to you in my last long letter, being a father to you has helped me discover my own potential. And that was very important for me because there was no other way I could have showed you by example how I want you to live your life. Today, as you complete 16 years, I wish to offer you 16 lessons on living a good life. As you go through these lessons, I hope you remember that you will always be my greatest gift and one of my most significant achievements in my life. I share these lessons with you in hope that they will serve as a compass on your journey through life, helping you to pave your path, achieve your dreams, and find your joy. So here I go. The very first lesson that I want to share with you is that you must love yourself above all else. Because of you, I am a teacher, and just like I have taught you about sharing, about using words like please and thank you, even with Alexa, I realize that it's also my job to teach you about love. Because while you are the love of my life, I want you to be the love of yours. Always remember that your worth is not determined by your looks, your weight, or by some other person in your life. You do not have to be prettier, smarter, cooler, quieter, or stronger than you are. So never wait for someone to make you feel complete, because you are already whole. You are enough just as you are. And so, always love the person you are. It is not always easy. It requires patience. It requires understanding that you will not always be as strong as you would like to be. But when you get to the point where you really feel good about the person you are, amazing things will happen. My second lesson for you is about choosing joy, always. Now, the difference between joy and happiness is that happiness happens to us, and joy is a choice one makes. Happiness depends on external factors. Even though we may seek it, desire it, pursue it, feeling happiness is not a choice we make. Joy, on the other hand, is more than emotion. It is an attitude, it's a lens to see the world through. Now, choosing joy is like choosing love. It's not something done once and forgotten. It would require you to look beyond your immediate circumstance to connect with bigger picture. On your journey, you are going to have a collision or two or 10. You are going to get stuck in traffic. You are going to break down. You're going to take detours. Now, in every one of these moments, you will also have the opportunity to choose joy, to shift your focus toward others, and to cement a new habit in place. You will go in fits and starts. You will make layovers, some brief, some not so brief. How you choose to react to all of these bumps in the road, to life's bumps in the long term, is what matters. Learn to take every moment as grace. It's a choice you can make, Kavya. Give thanks for every moment. It's a choice you make. And with these choices, you will always get to joy. The third lesson that I want to share with you today is that you should not change who you are to just fit in. We live in a world where we are surrounded by ideals, and the media presents us with better versions of just about everything, creating a mindset that we should be striving for more. So there is no wonder so many of us feel like we are not enough. We need to be richer, slimmer, fitter, happier, nicer, different in some way. And the point is, we are all different and there is no right or wrong. To find true happiness, you must be true to yourself. Live your own dreams and be proud of what makes you unique instead of feeling the pressure to follow the crowd. Now, having great friends you can talk to and who support you is a beautiful thing, but beware of changing who you are to fit in with a certain group of people. Don't do something that deep down does not feel right to you or does not make you happy because it makes you more like that other girl, the one who is good at everything, or the one with the perfect hair, cool style, and a lot of friends. Just don't change who you are to fit in. The fourth lesson is to have courage. Life will not be easy, believe me, but you will get through it. Sometimes you will need some help, but as long as you aren't afraid to ask it, it will work out. It might be hard, but trust me, you will do great. We often get things out of proportion. Things seem bigger than they really are. We overanalyze, and the things that we think are going to ruin our life really aren't. That thing that you think is going to destroy you will pass, trust me. Of course, there will be times in your life where you would rather hide or run or bury your head in the sand than face whatever challenge is in your way. I know because I have been there many times. In those times, I want you to remember to be brave and show courage. When fear grips and overwhelms you, call on us, or better, call on God to give you courage. He will give you the strength you need to get through the battle you are facing. Also, do not be afraid to take risks. Take big, bold risks. Do take them. You can accomplish great things only by taking risks. Living life too cautiously and keeping the status quo will leave you with regrets. Get outside of your comfort zone and watch as that comfort zone expands. The more risks you take, the easier it becomes. Do not also be afraid to make mistakes. I repeat that, do not be afraid to make mistakes, but make sure you learn from them. There are, after all, no mistakes, only lessons. And most importantly, when you fail, get back up, dust yourself off, and just try again. The fifth and a very important lesson I want to share with you is to be kind always. Looking around, you might feel that kindness is something that is really lacking in the world and in interactions with other people. Now the key here is that you have the power to change the interactions. You can put kindness first. If you are the first to approach a person, you can treat them with kindness, keeping in mind that they may have something difficult happening in their life. And if someone acts without kindness to you, you can pause. Remember that they may have other things going on that you do not know about, and you can be kind to them. Now, kindness is when you empathize with others in their troubles, when you treat others the way they want to be treated, when you think and act selflessly without expecting anything in return, when you appreciate others for their work, when you forgive others for their mistakes, and when you carefully listen to someone sharing their problems. Marion Parker said, "Everyone you meet is fighting a battle. Everyone is lonesome." Given this, learn to deal kindly and compassionately with others. That is your only hope to happily live yourself and leave this world a better place than you found it. The sixth lesson is about living with acceptance. Say that someone said something hurtful to you. You can wish they had not said it forever, but the fact remains the same. They said what they said. Say you did something you regret. You can wish you had not done it, which could keep you stuck for a long time, but here is the truth. You did what you did. Now the problem with wanting things to be different than they are is that it is upsetting. It resists what is real and keeps you ruminating and analyzing to try to make sense of it so that you feel better. But it does not work and it will not bring you happiness. It is liberating to know that there is another better way, and that is accepting things as they are. Life is unpredictable. You will not always get what you want. A lot of things can happen that will transform who you are and have an impact on your life. Cultivate the ability to truly accept whatever comes and embrace it. Of course, life will bring many challenges, and it is not easy to embrace them when you are suffering and wishing those things would have never happened. But if you start cultivating acceptance in your life, you will likely cope with future crises in a different way and view them from a different perspective. Now, acceptance does not mean that you are resigned to a life of just putting up with things. Acceptance is not resignation, failure, or agreement. It is simply accepting the truth and allowing things to be as they are. That approach to life is truly liberating. The seventh lesson I want to share with you is about seizing each day. Carpe diem, seize the day, boys, make your lives extraordinary. This is what Robin Williams encouraged in the role of textbook ripping English teacher John Keating in the movie Dead Poets Society. The idea of carpe diem is that you must not let your precious little time on this planet get hijacked by hyper scheduled living, screen based pleasures, and the burdens of debt that could chain down your life. When Steve Jobs was your age, as he shared in his commencement speech at Stanford University in 2005, he read a quote that went something like this: "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you will most certainly be right." This is what Jobs told the students. It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. What was carpe diem in our age is YOLO, or you only live once, in yours. The underlying message is certainly not to act as if you have no future whatsoever, running around as if there is only 24 hours left on your personal clock. Rather, it is about retaining the key perspective that you don't live forever and should focus on doing what really matters today. Staying true to your values and personal vision today. So take up things you love, that you want to do, that excite you, that which you think add value to you, to your persona, to your being, and please don't wait to do that sometime in the future. This moment, this day is all you have. Just seize it. The eighth and a very important lesson I wish to share with you is about embracing your imperfections. As we wade through life's muddled waters, especially as young adults, we tend deep down to be hopeful that we will eventually manage to settle down well and find perfection in a number of areas. We dream of one day securing healthy relationships, deeply fulfilling work, a happy family life, and the respect of others. But life, as it is, has a habit of springing surprises. It sometimes deals us a range of blows, leaving our dreams shattered. And like a favorite cup or plate, we sometimes crack, we may even sometimes break. Now obviously you must not throw yourself away when this happens. Instead, you can relish the blemishes and learn to turn these scars into art, like kintsugi, which is an ancient Japanese practice that beautifies broken pottery. In Zen aesthetics, the broken pieces of a ceramic pot should be carefully picked up, reassembled, and then glued together with a lacquer inflected with gold powder. The Japanese believe the golden cracks make the pieces even more valuable. It embraces the breakage as part of the object's history instead of something unacceptable to be hidden or thrown away. Now it is beautiful to think of kintsugi as a metaphor for your life, to see the broken, difficult or painful parts of you as radiating light, gold and beauty. It teaches that your broken places make you stronger and better than ever before. The times when you get hurt and broken, you can feel totally rotten. But there can also be a strange beauty in the way you process the cracks in your life and the lessons you take from them afterwards. You can decide to cover up, or you can decide to walk out into the world as yourself with your cracks shining gold. The ninth lesson is about finding your true desire and then living it. In a thought-provoking lecture many years ago, British philosopher and writer Alan Watts told the audience this, and I quote, "Students come to me and say, we are getting out of college and we have the faintest idea of what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Students say, we would like to be painters, we would like to be poets, writers, but as everybody knows, you cannot earn any money that way. Now let's go through with it. What do you want to do?" When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that and forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You will be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living. That is to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. After all, if you really like what you are doing, it does not matter what it is. You can eventually become a master of it. And the only way to become a master of something is to be really good with it. And then you will be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. And therefore, it is so important to consider this question: what do I desire? Now, what you desire is a reason for which you get up in the morning. Go, Kavya, search for it. Until you find it, keep looking and do not settle. The 10th lesson is about living with an inner scorecard. Now, never let anyone tell you cannot do something or measure you up on whatever you have done. That is like living with an outer scorecard, which is an external measure of success that attempts to answer elusive questions like, what do people think of me, my success, my image? Maintaining an outer scorecard means being concerned by how the world sees you and thinks of you, and then acting according to that. Inner scorecard, on the other hand, is intrinsic. It defines who you are at the core of your values and beliefs. When you live with an inner scorecard, you focus on being the most authentic version of yourself and doing the right things instead of what people think you should do. You may make bad decisions, and because of the fear of what others might think, hold on to those decisions. Even when you do the right things, the reaction you may receive from others might be that of annoyance, disrespect, and jealousy. If you are not living with an inner scorecard, such a response will crush you. The world is indifferent to what we often want. But if you can find joy and satisfaction in your work, because you live with an inner scorecard, you will not need to look anywhere else for happiness, but within. The 11th very important lesson is about loving your family. Few people in this life will provide you unconditional love and support that your family will provide. Now, there are two types of family I am talking about: the family you were born with and the family you will choose to keep, that is your closest friends. Whether you are family by biology or choice, founded on trust and respect, the bond of your family is forever. Invest in your friendships because this investment will stay with you forever. True friends are those people who you may rarely speak to as adult, but when you do, it is as if no time has passed. True friends will love and care for you despite your flaws and imperfections. They will pick you up when you fall and will be your greatest champion. They will also tell you what you do not want to hear. Just listen to them. Family has the power to build you up, providing the foundational support for greatness. Your family will elevate you to achieve all your dreams and life's ambitions. Regardless of where you end up in life, it would be best if you always remembered where you come from. It all starts with the family. The 12th lesson is about living like a verb, not a noun. I recently came across this thought-provoking paragraph from the English actor, comedian, and writer Stephen Fry. While browsing a notebook I had scribbled thoughts in some years ago. Fry said, Oscar Wilde said that if you know what you want to be, then you inevitably become it. That is your punishment. But if you never know, then you can be anything. There is a truth to that. We are not nouns, we are verbs. I am not a thing, an actor, a writer. I am a person who does things. I write, I act, and I never know what I am going to do next. I think you can be imprisoned if you think of yourself as a noun. Quotes closed. Kavya, learn to give yourself permission to do what brings you the greatest joy. That is the way you will find satisfaction in life. What will lead you to a fulfilling life is not the nouns you may use for yourself, like a dancer, writer, investor, teacher, but the verbs you will be, which is the growing, learning, and pursuing that will happen in the process. The 13th lesson that I want to share with you is about forgiving over and over and over. You are going to have your heart broken. Whether it's a fallout with a friend you thought you were close with, or that career that you wish you got. It's life, it's going to happen. Take it for the lesson it was and move on, and never hold into grudges against others and yourself. When we harbor unforgiveness and blame others for all our misery, it slowly eats us away, breeding hatred and destroying our relationship with that other person, and also with our inner self. But when you decide to forgive, It is like an instant miraculous healing process. It is a key to moving on. When people do not act as you would wish them to, exercise the muscles of your good nature by shrugging your shoulders and saying to yourself, "Oh well." Then let the incident go. Also, try to be as kind to yourself as possible by forgiving yourself for the mistakes made. Greek philosopher Epictetus advised, "Do not measure yourself against others or even against your ideal self. Human betterment is a gradual 2 steps forward, 1 step back effort." When you learn to forgive others and yourself and let go, you will be surprised to discover the lightness and freedom that unfold thereafter from within you. Now, forgiveness won't necessarily erase all your pains, but it does mean that the hurt is no longer center stage. The 14th lesson is about taking good care of your health. I know you feel invincible now, but you won't always feel that way. Your health is paramount, much more important than you think. So eat right and stay active. Go on walks, run if you want to. Go to bed at a decent time. You will thank your older self later. It will save you a lot of stress in the long run. Speaking of stress, please don't stress. Stressing about things that you cannot control or change is a waste of time, and it only causes problems. It does not help you find solutions. In fact, stressing will hinder you from finding solutions, so just try to avoid it with a 50-foot pole. The 15th lesson is about not taking life so seriously. At your age, you know this better than me. But lest you forget as you grow up, remember to always have fun. Our DNA is, after all, 96% chimpanzee, so what is the point of taking life any seriously than a chimp does? Laugh at yourself when you make mistakes and do not worry about things you cannot control. You get around 80 to 90 trips around the sun. Embrace them and enjoy your ride to the fullest. About 99% of what you will think as problems will not even be real problems anyways, just situations your mind would make into something big and unnecessary drama. So just remember to relax. Do not live in your head so much. The 16th and the final lesson is about chopping wood and carrying water. Let me tell you a story here. So there was a young boy who became a monk. He dreamed of enlightenment and of learning great things. When he got to the monastery, he was told that each morning he had to chop wood for the monks' fires and then carry water up to the monastery for ablutions in the kitchen. He attended prayers and meditation, but the teaching he was given was rather sparse. One day he was told to take some tea to the abbot, who was the head of the monastery. He did so, and the abbot saw he looked sad and asked him why. He replied, "Every day all I do is chop wood and carry water. I want to learn, I want to understand things, I want to be great one day like you." The abbot said, "When I started, I was like you. Every day I would chop wood and carry water. Like you, I understood that someone had to do these things, but like you, I wanted to move forward. Eventually I did. I read all of the scriptures, I met with kings and gave counsel, I became the abbot. Now I understand that the key to everything is that everything is chopping wood and carrying water, and that if one does everything mindfully, then it is all the same." Now many of us get caught up in the end results of what we are looking toward or the way things will be when we finally achieve something. Many of us think that once we achieve some future state like a promotion, like financial independence, like enlightenment, or like reaching the top of the mountain, we will finally be content. So we tend to live in the future or the past in our heads. But the truth is that none of these destinations will bring you lasting contentment. Further, getting to where you want to go or being successful does not mean that the work that led you there goes away. Instead, you must realize that contentment can only be found in every now, in being fully present with ordinary daily activities, which is chopping wood and carrying water. When you are able to find fulfillment in these ordinary activities, you can finally be at peace in life. So these were the 16 lessons that I wanted to share with you, Kavya. And even as you take these lessons I have offered you, it is your own life to live. So live by your own means. Being alive means we must make the most of the life we are entrusted with. Life is not ours to possess. It is a precious gift that we must treat as if it were placed in our care. Whatever lifespan we are given, we must take the utmost care to give it back. Always remember that life's worth is not measured by its duration, long or short. What is important is how you use the life you are given. It is a tragedy that some people only get the opportunity to see what they had once it is lost. Do not allow yourself to be that person. Make the most out of every day and live it as if it was your last. Don't wait for someday. Live life right now. You will soon realize, Kavya, that the people that you love and rely on, like your parents, are human too. They will grow old and they won't be here forever. So please don't take them for granted. You never know when they could be gone. The experiences, the suffering, and the pains that you are going to endure over the next few years will make you the adult that you are going to become. It might seem harsh and unfair at the time, but in the end, it will turn out to be one of the biggest gifts of your life, and you will remember these years forever. You will also soon learn so much more about people, about faith and resilience, and most importantly, about what you really can achieve. Only when you set your heart, your mind, and every muscle in your body to it. Because remember, you are enough, and I love you a lot. Happy birthday once again, Kavya. Bye.